Folks, have you ever watched a Raiders game where the silver and black storm Allegiant Stadium, the Death Star itself, and felt that electric pulse of Raiders Nation roaring like a tidal wave? That unbreakable spirit, born from the gritty streets of Oakland, forged in the Hollywood lights of Los Angeles, and now exploding under the Vegas neon? Well, strap in, because tonight, we're diving deep into the heart of it all. It's Week 5 in the books, and the Las Vegas Raiders are staring down a 1-4 start that has even the most die-hard fans biting their nails. But here's the hook that keeps us coming back. In a league where legends like Al Davis preached commitment to excellence, and quarterbacks like Ken Stabler slung it to the end zone with that rogue swagger, one thing's for sure, this team's got fight left. And right now, all eyes are on Geno Smith, the veteran gunslinger traded to Vegas this offseason, who's got the Raiders mildly concerned, but far from folding. Welcome to Raiders Report. I'm your host, channeling that John Madden energy, ready to break it all down. Let's talk football, Raiders style. First off, let's recap the heartbreak, because man, it stings. Sunday in Indianapolis, the Raiders got absolutely dismantled by the Colts, 40-6. Blown out. Yeah, that's putting it mildly. This wasn't a nail-biter that slipped away in the fourth quarter. It was a clinic in contrasts. The Colts marched up and down Lucas Oil Stadium like they owned the place, racking up points with surgical precision. Anthony Richardson slinging dimes, Jonathan Taylor churning yards like a human bulldozer. Meanwhile, the Raiders? They managed just 6 measly points, their offense sputtering like an old jalopy in the desert heat. It never felt close, not for a second. Geno Smith, under center for what feels like the 100th time in his roller coaster career, couldn't find rhythm. Outside of that gritty Week 1 win over the Patriots, where he carved up New England secondary for 280 yards and a couple of scores, Smith's been shaky as a pass rush in a pocket. Inexplicable turnovers, like that pick-six against the Chargers in Week 2 that turned the tide in a divisional rivalry loss, and missed routine throws that had Raiders Nation groaning from barstools in Reno to rooftops in Henderson. One drive against Indy, he had Davante Adams streaking open on a slant, textbook stuff, and just overthrew it. High and wide, gone. Oof. But let's pump the brakes before we hit the panic button. Silver and black faithful. According to insiders Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano over at ESPN, the Raiders front office is mildly concerned. Not full-on red alert, but definitely eyeing the depth chart with a side glance. They know Smith's got to elevate soon, no doubt. The guy's a proven commodity, right? Traded here from Seattle in March for a third-round pick, reuniting with head coach Pete Carroll, the guy who turned him into a Pro Bowler back in 22 and 23. Geno himself said it best in that presser after the trade. Vegas? Man, it's like football meets the Super Bowl every night. I'm here to win rings, not just games. Yet here we are, 5 weeks in, and the stats tell a tale of two Genos. He's sitting at a 58% completion rate, 1,012 yards, 5 touchdowns against 7 picks. Ugly numbers that echo his early Jets days, when he'd flash arm talent but crumble under pressure. Scouts are whispering he's late with the ball this year, forcing throws into traffic like he's daring the defense to make a play. Arm strength. Elite. Decision-making. That's the question mark hanging over the Death Star like a storm cloud. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Context is king in this league, and the Raiders haven't exactly handed Smith a full deck. Sunday against the Colts, they were missing their top 2 tight ends, Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer, those mismatch nightmares who stretch the seam and block like linebackers. Bowers, the rookie phenom out of Georgia, has been a safety blanket with 28 catches already. Without him, it's like asking a quarterback to paint the Mona Lisa with half the colors. Add in left tackle Colton Miller sidelined with that nagging knee tweak, and suddenly Geno's blind side is wide open for Colts edge rushers to feast. The receiver depth. Not championship caliber beyond Adams, who's been targeted 62 times but hauling in just 61% because, well, who's scheming those underneath routes? Trey Tucker flashes speed, but consistency? Still a work in progress. And don't get me started on the offensive line. They've allowed 19 sacks through 5 games, 3rd worst in the AFC. It's no wonder Smith's playing hero ball, deviating from his smooth timing mechanics that made him a comeback player of the year. Playing from behind in 4 of 5 games? That'll force anyone's hand. As Pete Carroll put it in his post-game scrum, his voice gravelly like he's been yelling at refs since '79, "We're not broken, we're bending. Geno's got the tools. We just gotta give him the runway." But hold up, there's a silver lining bursting through, and his name is Ashton Jeanty. Oh man, Raiders fans, if you thought drafting this kid 6th overall in April was a luxury pick, Week 5 whispered otherwise. The Boise State Bullet Train, all 5'8", 211 pounds of compact fury, is finally turning the corner after a rocky start. Remember those first few weeks? Fumbles against the Chargers, stuffed at the line in Washington. Rookie Blues hitting hard. But Sunday, he ripped off 87 yards on 14 carries, including that 29-yard scamper on the opening play where he juked 2 linebackers like they were traffic cones. Jeanty's emergence could be the elixir Geno needs. He's averaging 4.8 yards per pop now, forcing 12 misses, second in the league among backs. And get this, after the game, Jeanty pulled no punches in the locker room, calling Smith a great teammate, straight up. Dude's been in my ear since day one, telling me, "Shake it off, kid. The league's a beast, but you're built for it." That encouragement, gold. Imagine Jeanty pounding between the tackles, setting up play action for Adams to feast deep. If Carroll's Seahawks offense was run-first philosophy, this could be the Raiders' blueprint. Pound the rock, protect the passer, let Geno cook. Shifting gears to the bigger picture, let's talk tactics, because Pete Carroll's scheme is under the microscope too. The guy's a legend, national titles at USC, Super Bowls with Seattle, but adapting to Vegas roster? It's like fitting a square peg in a round hole. Early on, we saw that wide zone blocking with Jeanty's elusiveness, but against Indy's front seven, it got stuffed. Carroll's post-game film sessions are legendary for being blunt yet uplifting, a la Madden on the sideline. "We gotta trust the plan," he told reporters, pounding the table. But plans evolve. We're scheming more bootlegs next week to buy Geno time. And the defense? Mixed bag. Max Crosby's a beast, 8 sacks already, terrorizing QBs like it's personal, but the secondary leaked 312 yards through the air Sunday. Injuries aside, it's about cohesion. Remember that 76 Raiders squad, the one that birthed the "ghost to the post" with Cliff Branch? They overcame a 2-3 start to rumble to the first Super Bowl. Stats back it. Raiders' third down conversion is 38%, top 10 league-wide, but red zone efficiency? Bottom 5 at 42%. Fix that and watch out. Historically, this 1-4 hole? It's familiar turf for the Raiders, but they've clawed out before. Think back to the autumn wind era, those 70s and 80s juggernauts with 3 Lombardi trophies, powered by Marcus Allen's Heisman Grace and Howie Long's Snarl. Or the tuck rule game in '01, when a Raider fumble that wasn't flipped the script on the Pats dynasty. Al Davis, the Maverick owner who'd sue the league just to make a point, always said, "The fire's not out, it's just banked." Fast forward, in 2021, they started 3-4, lost to the Jets. Yes, the Jets, and still snuck into the playoffs with that Christmas miracle over the Browns. Statistically, Geno's Raiders tenure mirrors his Seattle peak, 92 passer rating potential, but pressure drops it to 78. Compared to Aiden O'Connell's bench warming days last year, Geno's arm is the upgrade, but the supporting cast? Last season's Raiders OL allowed 2.7 sacks per game. This year's at 3.8. Ouch. Expert take. I chatted with a scout buddy off the record, former Raider, won't name names, who said, "Smith's not broken, he's adjusting to the desert chaos. Give him Jeanty full reins, and by Thanksgiving, they're 5-5, nipping at the Broncos' heels." And speaking of rivalries, the AFC West, that blood feud since the AFL days. The Chiefs with Mahomes? Still kings, but that Week 2 heartbreaker where Geno threw 3 picks? Fuel for October fire. Broncos. Sean Payton's got him humming at 3-2, but Russell Wilson's ghosts linger. Chargers. Harbaugh's Bulldogs are 2-3, but that divisional loss stung. Raiders trivia time to fire you up. Did you know the holy roller play in '78, Stabler's fumble-turned-lateral frenzy that beat San Diego, mirrors the chaos Geno needs to embrace? Or that Charles Woodson, Mr. Raiders U, intercepted 5 passes in '02 to spark a turnaround? These stories aren't just nostalgia, they're the DNA of resilience. Let's imagine a quick huddle, fictional, but feels real. Picture me cornering Geno post-practice at Intermountain Healthcare Performance Center, the Nevada sun dipping low. Geno, 5 weeks in, what's clicking, what's not? He'd flash that Miami grin, towel over his shoulder. Look man, the arm's fine, the reeds are sharpening. Lost Bowers and Mayer? That's like playing without your left hand. But Janty's a stud. Kid makes me better just watching him weave. Raiders Nation, y'all keep the faith. We're building something savage. Cut to Janty, helmet off, eyes locked. Geno's the vet I needed. Rough start for me. Yeah, but he pulled me aside after the fumble. Own it, learn it, explode. That's leadership. And from the fan side? A tailgater outside the Death Star chimes in, mildly concerned? Nah, we're Raiders rabid. Geno's got that snake-bitten story. Jets bust to Seattle Star. Vegas Magic'll flip it. Looking ahead, Week 6 is a golden ticket. The Tennessee Titans rolling into town, fresh off their first win but still hapless at 1-4. Their D ranks 29th against the pass, yielding 285 yards a game. Will Levis, talented, but turnover-prone like a bad habit. This is bounce-back central. Janty feasts on that porous run D, 31st, 148 yards allowed. Geno airs it out to Adams for 150+. Prediction: Raiders 27-17. Smith with 260 yards, 2 TDs, 0 picks. String 2 wins, maybe steal one in Denver next, and suddenly, that wild card dream's flickering. Playoffs. Long shot at 1-4, but the AFC's a bloodbath. Bengals at 2-3, Steelers limping. Draft implications. Win out early, slide out of top 5 and snag a corner instead of another QB. But lose. Top 3 pick, cue the Shadur Sanders sweepstakes. Either way, this season's a proving ground for Carroll's veteran savvy. Can he channel that 12 Seahawks grit? Wrapping this up, Raiders Nation, because you've stuck with me through the highs, the lows, and that brutal Colts autopsy. The "just win, baby" ethos isn't a slogan, it's a battle cry from the black hole to your living room. Geno's got the keys, mild concerns be damned, and with Janty rising, Adams scheming, and Crosby sacking, the Death Star's lights are still blazing. Tune in Sunday, Allegiant Stadium, 1 p.m. kickoff versus the Titans. Grab your pirate flags, crank up some "Silver and Black Till I Die," and let's turn this ship around. Who's with me? Follow Raiders Report for every snap, every story. Because in Vegas, the house always has a comeback. This is your Raiders Pulse. Commitment to excellence, baby. Catch you on the flip side.